What is up, everybody? In the Taco Bell Time Fantasy Football League, it's your boy, Adam Rank of the NFL Network. You might know me from the shows Good Morning Football, NFL Total Access, The Insiders, and, of course, the flagship NFL Fantasy Live. I am sitting here to welcome you to the 2024 fantasy football season. I know that this season is already underway. The race for the belt, one of the most coveted titles in the history of fantasy football, is way underway, but still I wanted to take an opportunity to sit with each and every one of you, talk about your teams, go over the coming season, and see what is going to happen. And by the way, Goldberg, yeah, I am wearing a Bears shirt. Deal with it, because I don't care. I don't care what you think about me. I don't even know how I feel about you. Actually, I do. I don't care. I don't care, Goldberg. I'll get to you in a second. Let's start off, though, with our boy Doolittle, a Commanders fan who just can't stop making bad decisions. Good decision, Patrick Mahomes. Decision, Tank. Actually, I like Tank Dell a lot. Really love the opportunity to go out there and get Joe Mixon. That was a great pick. First week of the season, it paid off. I don't know if it's going to work against the Bears, but whatever. The bad pick is Harrison Butker. But since you like to refer to yourself as Diddy, picking Harrison Butker is kind of on brand. Like there's a correlation there. You don't have to think about it too hard. I'm going to give each and every one of you a wrestling equivalent of who you are. I'll keep it in the WWE. I don't know if you're AEW fans, and I don't want to put that on you. I don't want to make some of you go and look it up. Like, who's MJF? I don't know. Listen, I know. You might know. You know what? I know that he calls himself the architect anyway, so it's sort of lame. But Seth Rollins is a pretty good equivalent. I like the team, like the way it's constructed, and you're pretty good even though you annoy everybody. All right. Santoro, the commish himself, the great Jalen Hurts, Devon Achane. Great picks, especially the other night. Achane would not come out of the football game, which should show you Jalen Wright, Jeff Wilson should never be rostered. That just shows you pretty much right there. Speaking of that game on Thursday night, James Cook, amazing. Really good pick, finally. The one good thing about James Cook is that for so long, Josh Allen has been the goal line back for the Buffalo Bills. He actually let James Cook get a near goal line touchdown. So you got to love that. Three tutties for James Cook. The bad is Garrett Wilson's quarterback. Listen, I got a ton of Garrett Wilson. However, it is watching Aaron Rodgers out there. It's clear he's not the same guy. Like, I understand he's not going to run or anything, but can you throw the ball to Garrett Wilson? I thought when Wilson mossed that guy on Monday night, it was going to be huge. It didn't work out. You're wrestling the commish. You're obviously Triple H. There it is. Cargyle. You kept Derrick Henry. Deebo Samuel. But you got Brock Purdy, so you got a stack there, which is pretty good. Chris Olave was not great in week one. I'm still very confident he is going to bounce back this season. I like the way that your team has been constructed. Henry's the wild card because we saw this in week one. We did see a lot of Justice Hill, way more Justice Hill than we wanted to see. That's concerning. It's like, is Matt LaFleur coaching this team, ignoring Derrick Henry again? They abandoned the run like way too fast. Hated to see that, but still a pretty good team. Your wrestling equivalent is the New Day because you picked up a co-commish without telling anybody. Like, what is that all about? Like, Peter, hello, we have a co-commissioner in this league, but I love the New Day. I'm good. All right, Marino. Marino is my dude because he loves the rookies. And this is why it pays off each and every year now. He kept Sam Laporta, Puka Nacua. Obviously, in the short term, it's bad with Puka Nacua. But over the long term, over the entirety of Puka Nacua's this season and his career, he's going to be very good. Rashee Rice was a great pickup last year. Actually, you drafted him. But yeah, Rashee Rice, huge stud. Play him this week. The only bummer was Thursday night was Josh Allen. And so that was tough because he had less than 10 fantasy points, seeding touchdowns. Like, you are the opposite. You don't want him to be good. You keep calling your number, Josh. But it's going to turn around. They're going to throw the football. I know Joe Brady has run the ball a lot. but Josh Allen is still going to go out there and get his stuff. I'm going to give you, Marino, I'm going to say you're the tribal chief himself. Roman Reigns, ready to go, and love that for you. Okay, Rory. Mr. Too Cool for School himself. Rory's out there being all super cool guy, easy going. You kept Kenneth Walker, which is good. I didn't see your entire team. If you have not picked up Zach Charbonnet by now, you're in a world of hurt. I have some shares of Kenny Walker. It's okay. I do like Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, touchdown week 1. You're like stoked. We're back. He's cooking. Everything's great. It's not great with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, I don't know. I want to go back and look and see what he does with this whole wrist thing. Is this a thing? And by the way, Jamar Chase cannot shut up about calling out the Kansas City Chiefs. Cincinnati, what are you doing calling out the Chiefs all the time? I'm going to say this. Your wrestling equivalent is Lance Storm. You might be technically good and proficient, and you know the science of everything, but you're boring. And I know that Harvey Danger once said, if you're bored, then you're boring. But I'm going to say you're just Dullsville, baby. Your match comes on, I'm walking up to the concession stand. Oh, sure, I'll catch the highlights on YouTube. I don't need to see it now. EJ, Jets fan, CMC. Dang, okay. Nah, you had to keep it. You had to keep CMC. I hope you have Jordan Mason. If you do not have Jordan Mason, this could end up being a long season for you. You got CJ Stroud, which is excellent. He's going to be a good quarterback this year. I don't know if this is a proper spot for him this week because he's going up against my Chicago Bears, but whatever. The Chris Godwin thing, I don't understand. And I don't understand people drafting Chris Godwin. Here's my thing. Jalen McMillan is going to be the guy who breaks out this year. He already got a touchdown in week 1, should have had 2. Jalen McMillan's going to end up, and he's already starting to work into the slot too. Like he's going to end up taking over that role and being their slot receiver. Jalen McMillan will be the guy that at some point you're like, God, why didn't I pick him up? So there's that. So EJ, the Jets fan, I'm going to say that you're solo. You think that you're the head of the bloodline, but like, no, you're just, I don't know. You're just, you're actually just a glorified jobber. People boo you, but it's more go away heat than like, I sincerely don't like your character. It's like, go away. Clark, the Army guy in Germany, loved the team with Devontae Adams. Keeping Devontae Adams I thought was great because you're getting Anthony Richardson in the 4th round. Perfect. You drafted Bucky Irving. I love Bucky Irving this season. I really do believe at some point he's going to push aside Rachaad White. We're going to be talking about that. Like, hey, remember when Rachaad White was a thing? And people will be like, nope, neither do I. Really good. You're in Germany. You're doing. I know that this is going to be too hacky, and you're going to be like, this is really the guy. But I have to do it. I have to give you Corporal Kirshner. Your kids are probably not old enough to remember it. Go Google him. Corporal Kirshner was the best. When I was a little kid, I loved the Macho Man, and I loved Corporal Kirshner. Kirshner, he was the first guy I ever saw that had an actual neck beard. Like, he was the original neck beard. Corporal Kirshner. Looking back on it now, you're like, what was I thinking when I did Corporal Kirshner? I don't know what went wrong. That's so terrible. Could I do this? Let me see. I don't want to be, oh man. No, because I had to give somebody else this other one. I know. Kirshner is going to be good. Although, you know what? I'll tell you what. You know who I'm going to give you? I know this is it, Clark. You know who you are? You're the Miz. I know he played the Marine, and if that's offensive, that's why I took Corporal Kirshner, because Corporal Kirshner was an Army guy. Fort Bragg. The Miz was the Marine. I'll let you choose. One of those two. Goldberg, Lions fan. Your stupid team ended up rallying to win over the Rams on Sunday night. Don't like it. Love that you took Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase. Of course you would take David Njoku. Of course you would. You know what? Joke's on you, pal, because David Njoku and I are cool now. Probably not. He probably still doesn't like me. However, we have a mutual friend in Akbar who's been putting in a good word for me. So I do think, like right now, like obviously on Thursday night, I know like the Dolphins were down and they took out Tyreek Hill and they took out Jalen Waddle, which I guess is okay. You're down by, it's 6 minutes. You're down by 21. Score a touchdown. You have a backup quarterback in. I don't know. But they left Devon Achane in there. Like, what is happening? Oh, my goodness. In any event, your wrestling equivalent is, no, it's not. No, it's not going to be Goldberg. You're more like Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil sliding under the ring. You're not even worthy of Goldberg, who's, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the actual Goldberg. I do. I've heard good things and I've heard bad things, but there's something, and I've never really been a huge Bret Hart guy myself. That's me. That's me. Listen, if that makes me a bad person, whatever. I was always an HBK kid. Love the HBK. I love the NWO, DX. I was not a big Bret Hart guy. Believe it or not. Believe it. All right. Gabe, welcome to the league. Great job with keeping Bijan Robinson, Justin Jefferson, 2 first-round picks. So, listen, I know it's tough to spend up for players like that, but you got 2 guys who consistently went into the first round. I expect Bijan Robinson to be excellent this season. Justin Jefferson already showed you that he's the guy. He's quarterback-proof. Feel bad about Jordan Love. That was a tough go. Again, I'm sure that you've already went through waivers and everything. I don't know what quarterback you ended up picking up. Could it be Jared Goff? If Baker Mayfield is still out there and available to you, I would actually pick up Baker Mayfield. I think that would be the guy. And for your wrestling equivalent, I'm going to give you Cody. I know Cody's no longer new. He's no longer the new guy per se. I mean, he's done 2 WrestleManias now, so he's not even close to being a new guy, so to speak. However, I will say this. I love Cody. And Gabe, you've given me no reason not to love you. So welcome. You're Cody. Actually, that would make you you got to go win. No, you'll get to the championship game this year and then lose. You win in year 2. So no pressure. You don't have to win this year, but you got to win in year 2. Hughes, Giants fan. Oh my God. You know what? I got to be honest with you, Hughes. When I was looking through all these teams, I was looking at yours and I'm like, and I know that I get the benefit. This is before the season started. I know I get the benefit of looking at what's already happened. And I don't normally like stacking players from the same team when it's a running back and a wide receiver. I think you're okay doing it with A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley. I think you would be in a little bit of trouble if you were doing this with Devonta Smith or something like that. And Kyron Williams is still good. You know what's funny is like everybody's been talking about all these rookie running backs the whole offseason. And Bucky Irving was mostly my guy. But everybody was talking about Blake Corum, did nothing. Jalen Wright got into the game on Thursday, did nothing. Like all these guys, Kamani Vidal, actually I was really on Kamani Vidal as well, but he's done nothing. But Blake Corum not doing anything so far this season has given me so much joy that I can't help but love it. Should have a great game this week too against the Arizona Cardinals. Your wrestling equivalent, Hughes, and listen, I want to not, your life has been bad enough considering everything that's been going on with the Giants. I'm going to give you Kevin Owens, one of my favorite wrestlers in the world and a guy who should be a champion, should be the champion of the WWE. You should be champion of this league. Giancotti, another Giants fan, hates authority, also hates winning. Josh Jacobs, like really? Nico Collins, not doing anything this week. Marvin Harrison Jr. did nothing in week 1. By the way, did you hear Kyler Murray come out? It's like, it's not my responsibility to get on the football. I'm like, yeah, actually it is. That's why they snap you the ball, because you're supposed to throw it to them. They got you. Yes, who is it? Who's the responsibility fall to? James Conner? Trey McBride? Max Hall? I don't know. Trevor Lawrence? I don't know how I feel. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is good. I think with Brian Thomas Jr., that's going to be a pretty good team right there. So I love it. You hate authority. You're the anti-authority guy. Oh man. A part of me wants to say Raven, but again, I don't want to go too deep because I feel like I lose you. Like, how deep are you? Because I think, like, the Wired, like, anti-authority, Stone Cold Steve Austin. obviously. 100%. Stone Cold Steve Austin is the anti-authority person. No doubt about it. That's cool. No doubt. But a truly deep album cut. I want to know how big of a wrestling fan you are if you embrace Raven. Raven, the real like anti-authority guy. Raven went through it was this wrestler back in the 90s, went through all these different variations of he was Johnny Polo, he was all these other things, but he was legitimately like a rich kid who ended up becoming not a kook. His character is a kook. I don't know. He seems like a good guy. Raven. That'd be fun. But you can go, if you want to be like, no, but I got Stone Cold. Fine, you're Stone Cold. I don't care. And then Frank the Champ. He's a champ and a Packers fans. Two things that don't usually go together. Oh, I know. We've won the NFC North. Yeah, you've won the NFC North quite a lot. Oh, hundreds of times. How many Super Bowls have you won in our lifetime? Our lifetime. 2? Because you weren't alive in Super Bowl 1 and 2. You've won 2. I've won 1. I barely count. Okay, yeah, I count. I got it in. I got 85 in. Don't give that to me. So don't get a lot of wind into your job. But but listen, I'll be honest with you. CeeDee Lamb, great pick. And Breece Hall, 2 of the first 3 picks in any fantasy draft this season was CeeDee Lamb and Breece Hall. There it is. And Travis Etienne, who, despite the fact that Tank Bigsby got a lot of run, I understand. I think Tank's big. You should roster Tank Bigsby. If you haven't done so already, go roster Tank Bigsby because you need him on your bench. I hope that doesn't become a full-blown, sharing thing. But that's a real good team. And in any event, your wrestling equivalent is going to be John Cena. I know. I was going to give that to our friend Clark in the Army over there. So there it is. If you already saw the first video, I apologize. That could have been better. I got with Matt, and I'm like, dude, let me do this over. It's worth it to me. I mean, I've done more production and research on this cameo than I've done my last 2 fantasy shows. But that's okay, because you're my guys. Even you, Goldberg, you're my guys. You deserve it. Have a great season. Go out there and have a kick-ass time. Enjoy each other's company. Realize the more than winning or losing or anything like this in fantasy football, if they're just hanging out with your friends and talking S all the time, playing for the coolest belt in all of fantasy football. Although my boy Greg Braggs would probably love to get involved with that. And if you don't know who Greg is, then that joke probably doesn't land as much. But he loves Taco Bell as well. By the way, can I get anybody to try Del Taco? Is there any chance? If there is a Del Taco near you, I implore you to check it out. If not, hit me up when you come to California. I'll take you to one. I got a million places here in California. Way better than Taco Bell. Although not besmirching Taco Bell. It's like a draft. It's like, hey, if I'm at the end, if I'm at 1.12 in my fantasy draft of QSR, quick serve restaurants, and I'm like, oh, here comes Taco Bell. Okay, there it is. I'll take it. I'm not going to hate it, but if I have a higher pick and Del Taco is still on the board, I'm taking Del Taco. And if any of you have been to a California Del Taco and don't think that Del Taco is better, then I worry for you. If you went to one in Ohio, I can't speak to one in Ohio or whatnot. I don't know if they've made it to Florida, wherever. It doesn't matter. Have a great season, and I hope to see you soon.